Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Today's video is on me and it's on thee to try and answer the old question of what do Rangers need from the remainder of this transfer window. But before we dive any further on with today's video, as always a quick little shout out to the channel sponsors and the channel legends themselves, OneFootball, who do a free footballing app, so if you do want one, link for that is down there in the description below. And by the way, whilst you are doing there, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so and help us on our way towards 55k. That's the ultimate dream of the channel, so if you could help out, that'd be greatly appreciated. But I'll do something what I'm probably 99.9% of you all want me today, and that's just get on with it, CJ, because we're here to talk about Rangers. And to make today's video just a little bit different and a bit more thought-provoking than just diving and saying, we need this, and that is it. I thought me and thee would go through a wee bit of a journey of this Rangers team and have a look and a sort of an overview of the squad so far, because we all know that Steven Gerrard loves to have two for every position. That is what he said numerous times in all his pressers and all his interviews. So let's go through the squad and see if he has that. And starting off with the old goalkeeping position, it is a massive tick on the old checklist for me, because not only do we have a talented player like Alan McGregor, we have a talented player like John McLaughlin, and they are just going at it. It's some battle. That's what we keep hearing about, and we're seeing that on the park. So for me, I'm not going to waste too much time in the goalkeeping position. I think we are completely fine, and we don't need to strengthen that at all. And jumping forward from the goalkeeping position to the centre-back spot, we look at that because it's funny, that was such a major talking point during lockdown, during the sort of time when there was no football, right before to the start of the season. It was the centre-back we needed to go ahead and bring one in, and by God did we go ahead and do that, and Leon Balogun, who has looked tremendously well in his 1.5 games for Rangers so far. But when you look at the centre-back spot, we've now got Goldson, right? We've got Balogun, who we just mentioned. We've got Hollander, who we've done tremendously well with, not to rush back and force him back in when he wasn't ready. We let him take his time, we worked well, and we waited till he was at his peak. Then we brought him back into the side, and yeah, he's completely repaying that faith and that time away with performance after performance. So he's looking brilliant. We have George Edmondson, who had a fantastic pre-season, and we have young Mayo, who continues to turn heads with every single performance and has just went ahead and won a big new contract at Rangers. So sky's the limit for that laddie. And of course, not even mentioning the fact that we've got Katic, whose potential again is absolutely up here, and hopefully we have him back by the tail end in January. And when I take a step back and I look at all of that and I look at the players we have there, for me, we have a bit of everything we could ever need to combat against what we're going to be facing all season long. We have pacey centre-backs, we have powerful centre-backs, we've got a wee bit of experience here, we've got a wee bit of youth as well. So I'm looking at everything, and again, I'm going to go ahead and give this a massive tick. So for me, I don't think we need to strengthen in the centre-back for the rest of the window. Staying with the defence, however, let's jump over to the full-backs then, shall we? And let's start off with the right-hand side then, because we have the skipper himself, Tavernier, and in behind him, the two for every position that we have battling for that position is young Nathan Patterson, which really excites me, because this is a laddie that's just got something about him, you know what I mean? He seems to play with a maturity that's way beyond his years. And if you look back what we've done over the last couple of seasons, we've brought bodies in, we've brought guys in, we've brought experienced guys in, and we've had a lot to cover it right back. But what did it bring us? What did it give us apart from absolutely nothing? And I just like the difference in approach we're now doing with the full-back area. Instead of just having bodies there, we've got a young up-and-coming player learning for the best right-back in the league, who's only going to get better, and he's under a long-term contract. He's going to get valuable minutes on the park, so that also helps with our academy players and keeps them motivated. So I like this approach much better than the previous one. We are just having bodies for body's sake, touch wood, just in case anything ever happened. This for me is much more forward thinking, and I look forward to hopefully seeing Patterson not only go ahead and have a good season, but build on that and eventually go ahead and start. Now again, I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon, because you know I'm a Tavernier guy, but I think this forward thinking attitude from Rangers is the right thing for this football club, and it's the exact same as we jump over to the left hand side. So tick for the right back, and when you look at it, it's the exact same mirror on that side. Their starting left back is the best left back in the country, just like the best right back is on the other side. Barisic is a crucial part of how Rangers work, and when you look at Calvin Bassey, who again continues to turn heads whenever he played, they looked very impressive when he was given a couple of minutes versus St Mirren as well. Young, skinny learn, he's a sponge, he wants to work hard, and he's also capable of covering the centre-back spot in case anything crazy happens there either. So I'm very, very happy with this forward-thinking attitude from Rangers. So tick and tick for me. I don't think we need to go ahead and bring in just a body for the body's sake at the left-back and right-back spot. Time to move away from the defence, so we're going to go right to the other end of the park. We're going to focus in on the striking position, and just like I said with the goalkeeper, this is going to be very, very short and very, very sweet, because when you look at it, I think we've got the best depth in the country. We have Kemar Roofe, we have Cedric Eaton, we have Jermaine Defoe, and if he is wanting to be here, and if he is going to continue to work hard, because when he does want to be here and when he does want to train, what a player Alfredo Morelos is. But I do need to say, whether or not Alfredo is here by the end of the window, I'm still looking at those forwards and I'm saying, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's a bit of everything we could ever need to combat and battle against the defences. We've got one, it's an out-and-out poacher. We've got the big physical threat, and we've got somebody that can play pretty much anywhere and bring anyone into play. So for me, I'm completely fine whether or not Alfredo Morelos stays at the striking position. Now, taking a step back away from the striker and looking out wide, now most clubs would call these people wingers, but if you've ever watched us play so far this season, they aren't wingers. Our wingers have a hell of a lot more responsibilities and duties rather than just standing out wide to whip a ball, and they leave that to the fullbacks. Our wingers' job is to cut inside. Their position is just, yes, that's all they say. What position do you play for Rangers? Yes. That's it. The positional freedom that they have, it's their duty and it's on them, their responsibilities to switch, interchange, make defences, and centre-backs and left-backs have to pass on the duties and say, you have to mark him, you make him. So to try and create gaps in these difficult low blocks that we face on a weekly basis, and they've got so much responsibility, but when you actually look at who we have taken on those roles, I honestly couldn't be happier, because we've got Ryan Kent, we've got Hadji, we've got Joe Aribo, and we've got Kemar Roofe, who is well capable and experienced in playing in those positions as well. So if you're looking at two for every position, as Gerard likes to say, for me, two top quality players there that's able to play in every single facet of that attacking inverting craziness that we do. And we've even got the likes of Barker and stuff like that as well, touch wood, in case anything happens to they guys. And again, the jury's still out in Barker, but there is a little bit of talent in there and we've seen glimpses of it. So if he is going to be sticking around at this football club, who knows, he may be able to spark himself into life and offer a wee bit in there as well. Now, as we just went ahead and mentioned Joe Aribo's name, that transitions us into the old Joe Aribo role, which used to sit right next to Jacko and right next to Davis, but that's no longer the case. His role now is to get further forward and be a part of that interchanging, because it's just freedom in the attacking area. And when you look at the Aribo role, you've obviously got the man that I've literally just named, but you've also got Scotty Arfield, who has excelled in that position playing for us during, I think it was the 2018-19 season, where he was right behind Jermaine Defoe and it flowed absolutely flawlessly in that attack. So I'm looking at that saying I'm not worried about that position, because we also have Hadji, who's well and capable of playing in that role as well. And some people might argue playing that more central role was actually Hadji's best position. So if you look at our depth in that area, in that role, for me, I'm a happy guy, so it's a tick for me as well. Now, some of you might be thinking to yourself, hold on now, Seiji, you went through nearly the entire team. Are you honestly sitting here with that stupid smile on your face and thinking to yourself, we are alright, we didn't need to strengthen at all in this transfer window? Well, to answer those people, no, because I've intentionally left the last position last for a reason, and this is the biggest area where I think, and I do truly believe, that we need to invest in if we want to go ahead and achieve what we want to achieve. Because I'll be honest, I'm not overly confident in our holding midfielders or the conductors or the halfway line, whose job it is to break up play but also win it back very quickly, to intercept the balls and also cover the full-back areas whilst also trying to get us flowing in the right direction. It's a very, very important role of your team, which is often overlooked, but when you look at it, it is a very, very long season, and the players that I think are only capable and actually natural at doing that is Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis and Glenn Kamara. Now, before I actually clarify why I only consider them three for being in this role, let's talk about them then, shall we? Because we've got Ryan Jack, who again won Player of the Year last year, and after getting the handbrake took off him after that disappointing draw versus Livingston, he's starting to look like he's box-to-box self. He's getting involved in everything. He's starting to drive us a hell of a lot more forward, and when Jacko has got that handbrake off and the freedom to go when he wants to go, you can clearly see he has got a bit of sun, and that's why he won Player of the Year. So I'm very comfortable and confident about Jackal, but when you look at the other side, the duties so far this season has been split between Glenn Kamara and Stephen Davis. Now, you all know where I sit if you caught my video the other day about Glenn Kamara. I still think he's going to be a vital piece of the puzzle, and I've not gave up on the laddie. This is a lad that didn't have a bad game for 9 months in a Rangers shirt. Everyone used to love him then. He had that downward spiral and everyone's attention span went, I'm done with you, I'm moving on. I've not gave up on the laddie. There's clearly a talent there, but his duties are being split so far this season with Stephen Davis, who again has looked actually excellent in his 2 games so far this season, but it pains me to say it, he's not getting any younger, and it's a very, very long season. And I just think as a football club, we can't go into this entire season having 2 people battling for 1 spot and fighting each other, and having Ryan Jack pretty much starting every single game. Now, some people might jump in and say, but Arfield can play in that position. Hell, Joe Aribo can play in that position. And yes, they are capable of playing in that position, but pulling it back to something I said earlier, that's natural to them. Isn't it? It does restrict him, and I just think as the season goes on, and if we do want to actually win things this season, we can't go ahead and keep putting plasters over massive cracks in the team. And to clarify, by the way, I'm not saying Scotty Arfield and Joe Aribo aren't good enough. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, why limit what they are best at doing by playing them in a position that isn't bringing the best out of them? It may sound pretty stupid and sound pretty obvious, but we've been doing that now for a very, very long time, and it hasn't worked, ladies and gentlemen. So I just hope going into this season with the rest of the window, we take advantage of the extended window and we go ahead and identify that position right there and say, right, if we want to achieve what we want to achieve, we need somebody in there that is comfortable and capable of playing in there and pushing the other 3 to be the best they can be. No, just being there for a wee stopgap until the other boys are back ready. So that's the position that I do think we're at the weakest, and I do think we need to focus in on strengthening to the maximum. And what type of player do I think we need to bring in? Does it necessarily need to be the exact same as one of them? No, in my opinion. I personally love someone that's got the energy and engine of a Ryan Jack, but also the passing and awareness and the ability to control a game like Stephen Davis. But I know that's a hell of a lot easier said than done, and that's not how things work. But if you're asking me, what do we need to go ahead and need? That's the position, and that's the type of player that we need as well. So with all that being said, that is the Rangers squad overview. That is the position that I think we need to strengthen in, and that's the type of player that I think we need to try and identify and bring in to the football club. So now that I'm all done and dusted, I hand the reins over to you watching today's video. What do you think? What positions do you think we need to go ahead and strengthen? Again, you didn't need to agree with me, and hell, you can pick points and everything I've said in today's video, because that is what we do here. Agree, disagree, argue, happy, celebrate, fight. It doesn't freaking matter. We're all a nation, and we're here for the Rangers journey. But as always, I've been CJ Novo 992. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.